What's up, YouTube, tube? So today we're gonna be going over a case, an imaginary case, Billy v. Frank, and basically the way I'm gonna go through this is the way we basically learned throughout the readings of I'm gonna basically think like a lawyer, a name drop of the book, Um, yeah, so I'm going to basically do it how they told us to do it. I'm going to go over the facts, then I'm going to go over the legalese, and then I'm going to finally go over my argument, like my syllogisms and how I grounded them, all right? So let's get into the facts. So one night, it was raining lightly, and Frank was out looking for Billy. Now, Frank is looking for Billy because Billy's been skipping out on payments to Frank. Billy has not paid Frank back for $100 loan that's a month old, right? And so Frank's like, I'm gonna teach Billy a lesson about not paying back your debts. So he's carrying a handgun, right? And he's just walking around town. Now he doesn't know where Billy lives. He doesn't know where Billy is going to be. He's just hoping he runs into Billy as he's strolling the town, right? So hours go by, and now it's like heavily pouring. And Frank doesn't like the rain. So he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna, instead of like going into like a store or something to get out of the rain, I'm going to break into some random person's house. Yeah, makes total sense, right? So he breaks into this person, to a random person's house. He does not know whose house it is, and to him the house appears empty, right? So he breaks through the window, and he's literally just sitting out for like the rain to end, right? So the rain ends, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna start leaving. So he starts walking down the stairs, and guess who he sees at the front door? It's Billy. It's Billy. And they are both stunned. They are both shocked. Billy is drops his grocery bags because I guess he was just at the grocery store and starts reaching behind his back pocket. Now, Frank, his hands are trembling. He has the gun out and his hand hits the trigger. A shot goes out. And it passed right past Billy. It does not hit Billy, but it hits the wall right behind him. Now, Frank uses this as his chance to skedaddle. But Frank is like stunned for like 30 seconds longer, and then he like reaches in his back pocket and he pulls out the $100 bill. He's like, I'm never borrowing money again. Dude, none of that would have happened if you would just paid your debts on time. Alright? Now, so now it's time to get into the legalese. Luckily, we have the definition of burglary. Alright? So we're gonna read it. Burglary means the person committed breaking entering of a dwelling of another at night with the intent to commit a felony inside. Okay, there we go. So, my argument, I'm going to be on the side that Frank ain't guilty. Is he guilty of a bunch of other things? Definitely. But is he guilty of burglary? Nah. So, luckily for me, well, for all of us, we're doing this. The way that the wording for burglary is laid out, it's basically like a test, like they talked about in the book. So, for our major premise as a syllogism, we're gonna just give this straight up definition for burglary, right? And then for our minor premise, we're gonna say that Frank did not enter Billy's house with the intent to commit a felony inside. And then for our conclusion, we're gonna say Frank is not guilty of burglary. So grounding. It's time to ground. For the first one, I would just ground where I got that from. Like, all we know is we got it from this piece of paper. But like, if it came from case law or if it came from statutes, like in the real world, like I would just cite where I got that from. Boom, major premise grounded. Next, I would ground the minor premise. Now, I'd probably want to define the word intent or what that means in legal terms. So we turn the minor premise into a conclusion for a new syllogism. Uh, Frank did not enter Billy's house with the intent to commit a felony inside. So, first we have our major premise. Breaking into another's house with the intent to commit a felony inside means entering another's house for the purpose of committing a felony. Like, you thought beforehand, hey, I'm gonna go into this house and commit a felony. That's what it means. And now, in reality, I would find similar case law or, like, statutes that would actually define, like, intent or what intent means in this specific instance. But we don't have that, so I'm just rambling, right? And so, then for the minor premise, I would say Frank entered Billy's house with the intent to keep out of the rain. Frank did not know that that was Billy's house. Yes, it seems like Frank was out to get Billy. It seems like Frank was out to kill Billy. But he didn't know that that was Billy's house. He did not enter that house with the intent to kill Billy because he did not know that Billy was going to be there. He entered that house with the intent to stay out of the rain. Now, what he does, like, once he's in the house, like, if his intent changes or if the situation changes, as we saw it did, because then he did find Billy, it doesn't count because you have to enter the house with the intent. You can't, once you're already inside the house, now you are suddenly gained intent to do something while you're in here. No, it has to be beforehand, and he did not have that beforehand. And then for the conclusion, we already said Frank did not enter Billy's house with the intent to commit a felony. For our minor premise, I might just ground that more with, well, kind of with the yap session I just did, that Frank did not know that that was Billy's house, so he did not have intent to harm Billy. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think Frank is guilty. You guys shouldn't think Frank is guilty either. And Billy just needs to pay his payments on time. And yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.